One of the most well-known stories from the life of Buddha is the story of his enlightenment, which is often referred to as the Bodhi Tree Story. Here's a brief summary. Siddhartha Gautama, who later became known as the Buddha, was born into a wealthy family in ancient India. Despite being surrounded by luxury and comfort, Siddhartha was deeply troubled by the suffering he observed in the world around him, including old age, sickness, and death. Determined to find a solution to the human condition of suffering, Siddhartha renounced his life of privilege and set out on a spiritual quest. He practiced various ascetic practices and meditation techniques under the guidance of renowned teachers, but found that extreme self-denial did not lead to enlightenment. Eventually, Siddhartha decided to follow a middle path, abandoning both extreme indulgence and extreme asceticism. He sat down beneath a Bodhi tree in Bodh Gaya, India, and made a vow not to rise until he had attained enlightenment. For 49 days, Siddhartha meditated deeply, confronting the inner demons of doubt, desire, and delusion. Finally, on the night of the full moon in May, Siddhartha experienced profound insights into the nature of existence and the causes of suffering. As the first light of dawn broke, Siddhartha attained enlightenment and became the Buddha, which means the awakened one. The Buddha spent the next several weeks in deep contemplation, reflecting on the truths he had discovered. He then began to teach others about the Four Noble Truths: the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering, the truth of the end of suffering, and the truth of the path that leads to the end of suffering, and the Eightfold Path, which outlines the practices that lead to enlightenment. The story of the Buddha's enlightenment is a powerful symbol of the human capacity for transformation and awakening. It teaches us that through diligent practice, mindfulness, and compassion, we can overcome suffering and find true peace and happiness.